Do they pay you peanuts as well? Ooh!
That's my knees ache something horrible.
Oh!
Ent, have you ordered a new coat for the wine festival?
Yes, you ought to see it.
Don't push. Around here, it's wine, wine, and more wine. But me, I prefer brandy.
Monsters have mamas and papas.
Sir! Sir! A letter for you, sir!
Letter? Who from?
Can't rightly say, sir. I was just to deliver it.
Here. And thanks.
No, sir. Thank you. And I truly hope I'll be of service again.
Dearest.
I suspect weighty affairs, rather than merely the wine festival, have drawn you to Toussaint. Perhaps you'll find time to probe a certain matter in spite of this. I recently came across the mention of one Professor Moreau, a scholar in Beauclair, who conducted research into Witcher mutations. Though the details are rather murky, as is the location of the scholar's laboratory, his journal could contain more information. It lies buried with him in his tomb. I enclose a map I found in the book I happened upon. Though less than completely legible, I trust it will prove useful nonetheless. I felt this matter could prove of some importance to you, thus I dispatched this letter without delay. Whatever you decide, please take exceedingly good care of yourself. Your Yen.
A professor who studied Witcher mutations. Might actually be worth looking into.
Mama says that if someone's really, but I mean really, really, really bad, it means his heart is made of stone.
Wars. Wars everywhere.
Such are the times,
Nice tune.
my fellow.
What is they call you? Gervant.
Another murder by the horrid beast. Milton the
Witcher.
Peyran falls victim to his own...
Run, Roach. Regis. Couldn't have picked
Regis!
some other place to meet. Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be. Gotta be another way in around here. Plenty around here. Some stench. agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megoscope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here. Guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both hired vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
Covenarius spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Detlef's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask indirectly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you vampires lead very interesting lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Gotta ask you the big question, one everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well-founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlef, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Got a new life, a new body. That give you a new start, blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Detloff recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with the living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
See, Regis. Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Ever tried?
See, you're determined to get an answer, to find out if I like being a Witcher. Just refuse to ask directly, as always. I like being on the path. I like picking up a lead, a trail. I like the tension right before a fight. And nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like battling a beast. Even gotten used to people treating me like a freak, an outcast. Yeah, not something I think about much, but I like being a Witcher.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment. Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the white survived entirely unmolested.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct. And a curse. In one place. That a coincidence? Or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate. It's covered in... spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
If you imagine the white, we'll simply sell you some.
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
Fuck me.
The dressings, bandages.
What's that about? Guests. Never a good omen. Strange. Get a sense that the spoons are beating out some kind of rhythm. A message. Trying to tell me something. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Sounds like a curse, all right. Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around. What a pigsty. Need to search it thoroughly. Find a way to collect some white saliva. Girl realized she was changing into a monster, recorded it in her diary. Poignant. Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journal's author, maybe? No spoon you have shall sate you. Whatever lives here treated that literally. Still searching for the right spoon. Skeletons. Doubt they came here willingly. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It'd make sense. Broken neck, indentation in the skull's lateral surface, smacked in the head with something heavy. No claw or fang marks. Probably choked to death. Right arm bit right off. Teeth all knocked out. Somebody tried to force feed him. Actually does seem like a White's lair. Bit atypical, but still. Cauldron should be somewhere around here. I was looking for. White's not particularly tidy. Table's set. White, who lives here, is getting ready for some sort of feast. White that lives here, definitely afflicted by a curse, and it's been trying desperately to lift it. Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. Regis needs some brew. Afraid he won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait for the saliva glands and their bearer. Need a spot that'll let me observe the cauldron. Not gonna hurt you. Wanna help? I've seen the words of the curse on the walls. Think I know how to lift it. Tried to bring folk here, convince them to sit at the table with you, right? Well, I'm gonna be your guest now. Your willing guest. Just need a bit for Regis. And now we'll tend to you. We can't use spoons. No, that won't work. You've been looking for a spoon that would feed you, but there's no such spoon. We need to eat without spoons. Likeness. Just not quite like I expected. Need to see what happened to the white. Won't be hard to find given its stench. Show me what you got. Shh, easy. Not gonna hurt you.
Eat. I must eat.
I'll take you someplace safe. So I took her by the hand and led her here. Seemed the only sensible place for her.
You did the right thing, sir. She should recover quickly here. I'm deeply pleased finally to make your acquaintance, sir, though I do regret the specific circumstances. In all the commotion, I fear I neglected to introduce myself. I'm Barnabas Basilfolti, and by order of the Duchess, I am to serve as your major domo at Corvo Bianco.
Nice to meet you, Barnabas Basil. Love to talk more, but got urgent matters to attend to. While I'm gone, please make sure she gets everything she needs.
Don't worry, sir. I shall see to everything. She is safe here and in good hands. She'll soon be back on her feet.
Might actually take a while. She hadn't eaten anything in over 100 years when I found her.
Horrid. Whatever brought this about?
Told me her story on the way here. Her name's Marlena. She was once the very beautiful and proud heiress to the Trastamara estate. One evening, when she was holding a banquet for friends, a beggar came to her gate seeking alms. He had a bowl and a spoon with him. He sat outside her fence and waited.
I've heard of the custom. An ancient rite of hospitality that obliges one to give food and drink to such a guest lest he depart hungry. To neglect the custom is to bring great misfortune down upon oneself.
Marlena didn't care a whit for the old customs. She drove the man off, saying she'd rather feed the leftovers from her feast to her dogs than to give the beggar anything. The beggar then broke his spoon, cast a curse. She was beautiful, so he said she'd never wish to look at herself in the mirror again. Since she adored feasts, he swore no one would ever wish to sit and dine with her. And as she even refused him the crumbs from her table, he swore she'd never find a spoon in the world that would sate her hunger.
A harsh punishment. I imagine lifting the curse was hardly simple.
Curses are tricky. They play on Marlena had...
So what?
Someone.
That's it?
Simplest. Besides... Thanks. Gotta... Think your friend's hand will make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from the hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. A raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Pretty helpful creatures. Call on them often?
I try not to overdo it. But they can be so useful. As they were now, when I merely needed to be sure I could arrive in time should things go sour.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned a last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but alas, none such exists.
Not sure I understand what the problem is. Can't we just draw some of your blood?
The blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's chemical composition. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. And that stands to be very, very dangerous.
All right, so what do you want to do?
We shall visit Teshem Mutna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse. Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
Teshem Mutna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human blood that in one night he could imbibe an entire village. This brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons of Teshem Mutna. Inside it, a cage made entirely of a special alloy of silver, dalvinite, and meteorite steel. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage. Sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape. Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
See no reason to dawdle. Teshem Mutna. Take me there.
In a moment. Just one last thing.
What was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some Sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. One drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I have no choice. As things stand, the die is cast. High time we set off for Teshem Mutna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger. Beyond this wall lies...
an ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire's blood.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once, Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from our world into this one opened upon this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
Human husbandry and care. This for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
This place. There's evil here. Death hangs in the air.
Yes. Great many beings have breathed their last here.
Glyphs are carved into the rock. Coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
They're emblems, symbols of, well, what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction. My ancestors placed them here to remind us all where we came from.
Seems your kind assembled a peculiar little library.
Indeed. Though I personally did not lay a hand to it.
Cells? Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page from my history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock. Live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time. Deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine.
I prepared the bait. Please be so kind and place it. Ideally at the tunnel entrances. The scent will spread most effectively then. Place the bait at the tunnel entrances. Monsters will captured scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, send shivers.
It was the natural order of things. The place reeked of death and it attracted necromages.
Three done. One left. Think this'll work?
I certainly hope so. Its stench is so thick, I'd wager it carries clear to Novigrad.
This'll hold. Doesn't look like anything special.
I told you. Khadmar thrashed about inside it for over 2 centuries. Appearances can be deceiving.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain. I cannot know what I will do. We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent also my head. I started spinning.
That the blood?
Someone who's never experienced a vampire's bloodlust does not know the true meaning of thirst.
Safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what will you do once I open it?
Don't know. Calm you down. Somehow.
Please, you won't be able to.
We just have smelled the blood. Good, because I can hear more coming. Let you out. Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother you. Get you out of here.
The concoction.
finish it in this state. Tell me how. I'll help you. Any better?
Far from ideal. And some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Never expected it to be like that. You didn't tell me.
We need not discuss it.
But we do. Because if I'd known you were going to subject yourself to torture...
What would you have done?
Found Dettlaff some other way.
I did not wish you to use any other way. Did that occur to you?
No, because I thought no being would ever willingly subject itself to that kind of pain. You vampires aren't any different from us in that regard.
I told you, the pain is my way of paying my debt. The enormous debt I owe Dettlaff. If I had to do it again, I would in a heartbeat.
Resonance. It's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact, the brewing time precise. This is important, Geralt. The slightest deviation could cost even a witcher dearly.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
Very well. In that case, let's begin.
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment.
You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Dettlaff? And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh? But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates. Forgive me. What?
awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear they were death throes, that you'd departed.
Sure wasn't pleasant, but it worked.
What did you see?
Delacroix. His death did not come easy. Seems Dettlaff had made friends with him, still killed him, and chopped up his corpse. And he was overcome with fury, remorse, cut off the hand that had committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike the Dettlaff I know. See anything else?
There was something. Showed up twice in the vision. A bootblack stand. Dettlaff first met Delacroix there. Went back after the murder, actually.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the Port District. And the bootblack acted as if he knew Dettlaff.
That would be even odder. Perhaps we should have a chat with the lad. Though I would expect no breakthroughs.
It's our only lead. I'll go talk to him. Coming with?
I shall join you later if it's no trouble. I don't yet feel strong enough to venture out.
That's fair. Rest up. Be back as soon as I learn anything.
est flows in the veins of Toussaint.
I've 3 doublets, none of which are suitable to shoot myself in.
Greetings.
A witcher from the School of the Wolf, here in Toussaint. Greetings. I'm Lazar Lafargue.
Geralt of Rivia. Seem pretty enthused. Got a job for me?
Rather. Mind you, it's no monster hunt, but I'm sure you'll be interested all the same. I'm an armorer, see, and I've for years sought diagrams for witcher armor of exceptional quality, Grandmaster level.
Heard of them. Never seen any, though. Thought they were lost.
Not quite. For I've been lucky enough to learn that their holders came to Toussaint. Alas, they then perished, but I know where. I just need a partner to help me retrieve them.
If you know where to look, why not get them yourself?
No offense, but do I look like a rough-hewn adventurer? Besides, who would serve my clients while I romped about seeking them? No, I'd rather leave it to someone familiar with such matters. Bring me the diagrams, and from them I'll forge for you whatever you fancy.
What do you have on offer? Farewell.
Good. Back. So, how shall it be? Will you help hunt down the Grandmaster diagrams? Those for Witcher armor?
Would you craft something for me?
Of course.
Farewell.
Good luck on the path.
I'm going to save with my hands. Watch your stones. Bloody hell.
Greetings.
A witcher.
Geralt of Rivia.
Rather.
Heard of him?
Not quite.
If you know where to...
No offense, but do I look like a rough-hewn adventurer? Besides, who would serve my clients while I romped about seeking them? No, I'd rather leave it to someone familiar with such matters. Bring me the diagrams, and from them I'll forge for you whatever you fancy.
What do you have on offer? Farewell.
Good luck on... You're back. So, how...
What do you have on offer? Farewell.
Good luck on the path.
Another murder by the horrid beast. Milton de Peyrac Peyran falls victim to his own cowardice.
Was that truly necessary? And how not? Chopped liver? What a specimen. Scared the fright.
Oh, that's bad luck.
Blast my bum with a ballista. Summoning a Witcher? Was that truly necessary? And how not? Spare a copper or two.
Welcome to Beauclair. City of...
Bootblacks don't usually work nights. Need to come back during the day.
So how would you explain it? Whether it pours for a week or the sun bakes our pates, we've always mud up to our ankles here.
You can't blame me for Beauclair's fickle weather.
Fickle weather! I've seen you! You empty your chamber pot in front of our shop each morn, so folks will dirty their boots, go to you to get them cleaned.
A far-fetched conspiracy theory, sirs.
I'll conspire to welt your bum with my belt. Come here!
Leave him alone.
Just who the spit are you?
A witcher, and I'd advise you to go back where you came from.
I thought witches defend men from monsters, not cheats from justice.
Need to talk to the boy.
You can chat to him all you like, after we tan his hide. So stand down.
Not gonna happen.
Won't it? Well, then we'll thrash you as well, which is all the same to me.
Yeah, but circle him! We'll break your legs, vagrant!
Damn it!
Teach you to help scofflaws and cheats!
What's the meaning of this? The brawl? Who started it?
I'm investigating the beast, on the Duchess's orders.
Ah, yes. We've heard of you. And these men, what are they doing?
Obstructing my investigation.
Understood. Right. A few days in the clink ought to teach them not to impede official duchy business. Come on.
You're very good with your fists, sir. Wouldn't be looking for work, would you? We'd make a fine duo.
Listen, I'm interested in a certain gentleman.
Wait! Before we get to talking, please, take a seat.
But my boots are clean.
In this city, no boots are clean unless they just come off my stamp. A seat, sir, please. So then, who was it you wanted to ask about?
One of your patrons. Tall, elegant black frock. Not from around here.
An arrival? Indeed. I hear a faint bell ringing. A modest sum might make it sing out loud and clear.
How much?
Let's say 500 crowns.
What? Gotta be kidding me. What would you even do with that kind of coin?
Expand my venture. I'm sure you can imagine. Have a proper stand with a big sign. I want a new box too. New polishes, new brushes. And if I've enough coin left, I'll buy a share in a launderer's. Get wastewater for free.
Got it all planned out.
I should think so. Capital is all I require.
No way. Not about to contribute to your shady venture. You'll tell me what you know, for free.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. As you wish, sir. I know the fellow you seek, though I don't know his name. A steady patron. Gets his boots cleaned every few days. He's very good to me. Always pays me a premium.
Know where I might find him?
No, but you could wait here. Perhaps he'll stop by.
Don't have the time for that. Sure you don't know where to find him? Or maybe notice which direction he came from?
When I clean boots, sir, I do not look up to see where folk come from. I clean.
It seems you're having a rough go of it.
Oh, you're here. Feeling better?
I am, thank you. The local necropolis. The air does wonders for me. Now, if I might intercede, I dare say I've the right question to ask. Young man, you see this vial? One drop added to your boot polish will help you wipe even the most encrusted boot clean as the dome of St. Lebioda's cathedral. With it, you will serve 3 times as many patrons at a fraction of the effort, and piles more coin. I'm prepared to give you this vial if you tell me where the man we seek lives.
But you won't hurt him, will you? The gentleman's art, true, but he's kind.
In point of fact, he's a friend. Yet we had a falling out of sorts and would like to straighten matters out.
I leave his boots at the door of a house near the port. The door is red, but I do not know if the gentleman lives there.
Worth checking. Might happen on a lead.
Would you let me scrape the dirt off your kickers before you go? With all due respect, sirs, your boots could stand a cleaning.
Thank you. Perhaps later.
Handled that kid pretty well.
Finding the right approach. That's the trick to dealing with children.
Yeah, saw that. Meaning, the right thing to bribe them with.
I stock the larder of the...
Red door. One the bootblack mentioned.
The White Wolf himself.
Won't budge. Gotta break it down.
You might just as well stand out in the street, pound on a drum and holler, "Dettlaff, I'm coming for you." A bit more finesse, I implore you.
Let's hear your idea.
Give me a moment.
Nice. Ever consider becoming a burglar? Skill like that'd come in awful handy.
I considered it briefly, but ultimately concluded it would be terribly dull. Come.
He here? Sense him?
No, he's not here, but he was here recently. His scent is still strong.
Let's look around. Attic. Let's go. So this is his nest. Need to look around. Old toy. No use to anyone. Shame. Must have brought someone joy sometime. Nice tune.
Indeed. I'm not certain why, but it reminds me of home. A true home from before the conjunction of spheres.
Dettlaff van der Eretain, you do not know us, but we know you to be a vampire. We know also of your weakness for the wench they call Rennawed. Now you know this. We shall chain her down and let rats feed on her, We shall flay the skin from her flesh, yet you can save her. You need but travel to Beauclair, where you shall slay 5 men in the manner we prescribe. You must complete the killing in 3 days. Fail, and the next letter you receive will contain a memento of your failure, your beloved's finger.
There you have it. Proof positive Dettlaff killed not of his own accord. A blackmailer sunk his claws into him.
Who's Renawed?
His one-time lover. The sole human woman with whom he was very close. Because she accepted him. With her aid and care, he found a place for himself in this hostile world. She began the work that I strive to continue.
Ever meet her?
Never had the pleasure, alas. She deserted him a time before he came around to save me, though he always claimed she'd gone missing.
Take it you have your doubts.
I know humans better than he does. Their capacity to be disloyal, dishonest. I also know she took her things. Not something one associates with the kidnapped, or those who disappear against their will. I'll save you the trouble of asking. No, I don't know why she left. I can, however, hazard a guess that Dettlaff grew angry one day, showed another, more monstrous side. Dettlaff's anger could frighten anyone off, though most who see it get no chance to flee.
Dettlaff have trouble letting go, accepting that she'd left him?
Is that so hard to believe? Do you know no humans who've struggled with just such a thing? And Dettlaff is so much more emotional than most humans. Not only was she his beloved, his lover, his mate, she was a member of his pack. And one never leaves one's pack voluntarily.
Dettlaff ever try to find her? I mean, if she was that important. Higher vampires have their ways, all kinds. Should have been easy as pie for him.
Geralt, as you rightly noted, we are vampires, not miracle workers. He searched, for months on end before giving up. Clearly Renawed knew him all too well. Enough to cover her tracks, leave no way for him to find her.
Even if Renawed did abandon him that time, looks like someone's actually kidnapped her this time.
Hard to argue with that. And hard to foresee what he's prepared to do to free her, get her back.
He's prepared to kill, that's clear.
As would you be for Yennefer. He kills for he cares for her deeply. And that blood, those individuals, they mean nothing to him.
Yeah, I get it now. He's out to rescue a female from his pack.
Exactly.
Right, so someone's blackmailing him. We know that. Still have no idea who. Need to look around some more. Look, slips of paper, name on each. Count Crespi, Count Dulac, Milton de Peyrac-Peyran, Count Delacroix.
Dettlaff's victims, one and all. But that's not his hand.
Must have come from whoever wrote the letter. All of it written using the same ink. See the color? Ink was dyed with cinnabarite. Rare mineral, pretty much found only in...
Nazaire, but I fear it means very little. Anyone could have imported such ink.
Fair enough. Still worth remembering.
Look, this slip is stained.
With wine. Not much to go on either, especially not in Beauclair.
Perhaps. Yet perhaps also worth remembering.
Let's sum up what we know. Seems Detlef's being blackmailed. Someone's been feeding him his victims' names.
All noted down using one and the same Nazari ink, and not in his handwriting.
Not much.
But enough to ascertain Detlef's innocence, clearly.
Not how I'd put it. Doubt it's how the Duchess will see it either.
I trust you to convince her. And then...
What? Go on, don't be shy. See, you've got it all figured out, including the grin I gotta wear.
It's a rather bold plan, but... Were we to find Renawed, we would strip the blackmailers of their hold on Detlef.
That's one idea. Could be worth a shot. But what about Detlef? He gonna go on killing while I'm out searching for his lover?
He will not. I shall convince him to stay his hand. Assure him you're a friend seeking to help. I'll await him here. He's sure to return sooner or later.
Think he'll listen?
He will.
Ought to wait with you, maybe.
No. He'll sense you from a mile off. Simply fail to appear. I'd better stay alone. You must trust me on this.
Fine. Need to report to the Duchess first.
So be it. We'll await you here. Detlef and I both.
Our blood's worth less than wine.
Come on. Oh, fuck.
It's thin scrapings around here. At least the weather's pleasant.
Scrawny, grey-haired, ill-favoured.
By the prophet's wings. A witcher.
Simon Witcher? Was that true?
Your reputation precedes you, Geralt.
How is it that you guessed that the 3 years were?
Come on now.
Stole my brother's sling. Will you go rat hunting with me?
matter?
Geralt of Rivia, Master Witcher.
I was not mistaken. You arrived and trouble followed soon after.
Step aside. Got a matter for the Duchess.
At last, Witcher. We've been on tenterhooks. Did you catch Milton's killer?
Case is more serious than we thought. The beast? I couldn't kill it. Didn't manage.
We sent you after a monster, and you return with nothing? We are very disappointed.
Situation's not quite that simple. Beast's a powerful vampire.
Ha! Is this a problem? Is it too much for a witcher? A monster slayer? But everyone knows how to end a vampire. Draw him by trick into sunlight. Or arm yourself with ample garlic and drive a stake through its heart.
Garlic's useless against vampires. Sun and stakes don't hurt him either. Those methods, pure invention. Only work in legends and fables.
And buckthorn? When I was a child, Grandmama Ademarta always claimed buckthorn drives off vampires.
Silver sword's your best option for keeping them at bay. But it won't get the job done, because only a higher vampire can truly kill another of its kind.
Excuses. Ha! Your Grace, I shall assemble a battue. Bring the matter to its end at once. The Witcher need but tell us where to find this monster.
Go ahead. Send them to their death. Certain death.
To a lone Witcher, perhaps. To 40 of my men-at-arms, but another skirmish.
40, 50, 100? Doesn't matter. Won't make any difference against him.
You have not seen my guardsmen in action.
Can they fight fog? Hit a target that moves faster than the wind?
How? What creature can do such things?
Creatures like this one. Higher vampires, we call them. Each one's a little different. Unique or exceptional, you might say. Some transform into giant bats. Others communicate with animals, command them.
Yet all are still brainless beasts.
Dead wrong. Thinking of lesser vampires. Alps, Ekamaras, Catacans, for instance. They're ruled by instinct, sure. Attack anything that smells of blood. Higher vampires? They think. They employ reason.
Monsters driven by reason. A curious contention. What, then, do you intend to do?
It's way beyond being some monster. This is a powerful being that's walked the world for centuries.
Tja, impossible. If so great is their power, why have they not killed or enslaved us all?
Don't usually meddle in our matters. Mostly stay out of our way because they don't care about humans one way or the other.
And they do not fear we shall wipe them out one day.
They'd probably be pretty amused if you asked them that. They're well aware of their strength.
Then what can we do? Do you have a plan?
Try to talk to him. That's our best bet.
I cannot believe this. Her Grace summons a witcher to kill a monster. Instead, he wishes to chat with it. Ha.
Know what I'm doing. His lover was kidnapped. He's being blackmailed.
Blackmailed? Be so kind as to explain how a vampire might be blackmailed.
Higher vampires? They're like us, motivated by emotions, not instinct. Not only are they intelligent to an extreme, they're emotionally rich, capable of feeling many things, even love. This one fell in love with a woman, a human, and he'll do anything to keep her from harm.
You do not, I trust, suggest we let Milton's killer go free. Or wait until it murders again. We must render it harmless as quickly as possible.
Which is why that's my aim now, to prevent further attacks. Vampires only half the problem. Blackmailers at fault chiefly. Kidnapped the woman to control the vampire.
And what do you propose to do?
I'll find the blackmailer, free the vampire's lover.
You were to destroy him, not help him.
No one else should die. That's most important. Soon as the woman's safe, he'll have no more reason to kill.
I admit to being swayed, Witcher. You may be right. Do you know anything about the blackmailer?
Got one lead. A few scraps of paper. Blackmailer wrote the names of the vampire's victims on them. One of them stained. A drop of wine, looks like. So damn little to go on.
You've no idea how wrong you are, my dear. Send for the ducal sommelier. Hop, hop! In Tucson, wine is sacred. Here there is no such thing as a drop of wine, or stains therefrom. They are stains from a drop of Est, Ervelus, Fiorano.
Your Grace wished to see me?
Witcher, show him the paper scrap. Benoit, can you determine which wine made this stain?
Yes, yes. The west bank of the Saint Latour. That's rather obvious. Aged in barrels of Beauclair oak. Hue, deep burgundy. Clarity, high. It's simple. Saint Real, the 1269 vintage.
That's impossible. The wine is produced at Castel Ravello, especially and exclusively for the ducal table. Perhaps some Saint Real was stolen. We must go to the vineyard, see if there's not been an incident.
Saint Real. Never heard of it.
It's highly unlikely you've ever had a chance to partake of it. As I said, it is only ever served to the ducal family.
Didn't stop it from ending up on that scrap of paper. Unless your Grace's sommelier is mistaken.
In matters of wine, Benoit is never mistaken. If he says it's Saint Real, it is Saint Real. We must ride to Castel Ravello at once. Discover what has happened.
Wait. Your Grace wants to go with me? Out of the question.
I hope you do not suppose we will sit on our ducal hiney and do nothing while our duchy is in grave danger.
Your Grace, what you propose is far too dangerous. The Witcher should go alone.
It pleases me to see you gentlemen finally agree on something. But I've made my decision. We shall go, accompanied by the best possible escorts. You, Captain, and Geralt. We will travel incognito. We've no wish to give the court any reason to gossip. For the duration of this mission, I release you from your obligation to adhere to court protocol. In short, from now on, I am Anna Henrietta, not your Grace.
Yes, Your Grace. Witcher, are you ready?
Yeah, ready to go.
Excellent. Give me a moment. I must don something more appropriate and concealing. Then we will be off.
This vampire, have you ever faced its sort before?
I have.
How did it end? Did you kill it?
Didn't have to fight him. Hadn't killed anyone.
Have you ever heard of anyone defeating such a vampire?
Know of a man who defeated one, sure. But he didn't manage to kill it. Ultimately, only another vampire can kill a vampire.
I've sweat dripping down my bum furrow.
Hunters have attacked the wagon! We must help!
Stay back, your grace. We shall see to this. Help! Save us! I will show you your place, Scar. Back, you beast! Begone! Save us! Back, you beast! Begone!
Done. Time to move on.
If not for you, we'd have been done for.
You were fortunate
Thank
we
you.
happened by.
You saved our lives.
Hooray!
Not so fast, Roach.
You call that escorting Her Illustrious Highness? What were you thinking?
Captain, this is not the time for such complaints. As for you, Witcher, next time keep close.
Captain de la Tour, we did not expect any visitors from the palace. How are affairs at court?
Doubtless you've heard of the Beast of Beauclair. Well, we've our hands full. Especially since the rogue last attacked in the palace gardens.
I trust Her Illustrious Highness was not harmed?
Kind of you to ask, Master Fabrizio. I am well.
Your Grace? We were not warned. I shall order the salon prepared at once.
That won't be necessary. As you can see, we are not here on an official visit.
Naturally. Might I ask then what has brought you to Castel Ravello?
This is an inspection. We've got questions. You'll answer them.
Oh, and who are you, sir, to speak to me this way?
This is Geralt of Rivia, a witcher. He has come to Toussaint on my personal invitation.
Which is to say...
Which is to say, I expect you to treat him with the utmost respect.
Of course, Your Grace.
Did you hear that, Witcher? Fabricio will be delighted to answer your every question.
Want to talk about Saint-Réal?
I am at your service.
The Saint-Réal. How many vineyard workers have access to it?
One might say only I do.
Not like you make the wine all alone. At least a dozen others work here.
I see you've little notion how wine is made. Grapes travel a long road before they become Saint-Réal.
The workers assist me only to the stage of fermentation. I see to the maceration personally and let no one near the fat. Workers, again, assist me during barreling, but then I seal the aging barrels myself, each and every one.
The wine lies in the cellar, gains character. Once this process is complete, it becomes Saint-Réal. And as it happens, only I have the key to the cellar in question.
Who hauls the barrels to the palace?
We've our own garrison. Guards who have served here for years and would answer with their heads for the wine.
We'll not get anywhere asking questions, I see. It's a waste of time.
Your Grace? How am I to understand this?
Master Fabricio, we have proof someone's gained access to Saint-Réal. Someone who should not have, which means one of two things. Either you lie to our face, or you are an idiot who has had wine stolen from under his nose and not even realized it. In either case, you shall answer for it.
But...
Silence! And listen. I shall inspect the barrels in person, thus giving you time to reflect. When I return, I expect to hear answers. Remind me, where is the Saint-Réal stored?
In the main cellar, around the corner. I'll show you.
I shall find it. Give me the key to the cellar and wait here.
Of course, Your Grace. Here it is.
Come, Witcher.
What if Fabricio's blackmailing the vampire? Considered that?
He has his flaws, but I would never suspect him of such a thing. He's been very loyal. He owes all he has to me. His father frittered away the family fortune. He left his son an encyclopedic knowledge of wine. That is all. Fabricio lived as a beggar until I appointed him steward of Castel Ravello. Only then did he come into his own.
So where do we start?
Let us see if all the barrels are present. Here's the inventory ledger.
Vintner's log. Fermentation completed with no complications. Tapped above sediment line. Here it is. Barreling. Everything lines up at first glance. Neatly and thoroughly documented.
Then we must follow our other lead. Benoit said the stain came from the 1269 vintage. Let's find it.
Saint-Réal. 1270 vintage.
That's the wrong year. Keep looking.
Right here. 1269. What now?
Let's see if any barrels are empty.
Wanna open them?
For now, a knock will suffice. If you hear a hollow thud, we will have found what we seek. Full?
Full.
I have a feeling we'll find something awry.
Full. This one's full too. Full. This one's full too. Looks like all the barrels are full. Dead end, I'm afraid.
Full they are. The question is, are they full of Saint-Réal? Grab a tap and a hammer. We shall open them one by one and taste.
Barrel taps. Got the taps.
Then get to work. Let's broach those barrels.
Ready.
Step aside.
So?
Slightly smoky, strongly tannic, definitely Saint-Réal. Revolting, bitter plonk.
Could have gone sour while aging.
Impossible. This is not wine. This is contaminated refuse that should never have made it into a barrel. The fact that it did was no accident, I'm sure.
Master Fabricio. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Master Fabricio, I am very disappointed.
But, Your Grace,
You are a step away from losing your head. Speak the truth and you might yet keep it.
I admit it. I sold a barrel of Saint-Réal. I beg you to forgive me.
Why did you do it?
I couldn't resist. The sum they offered, it was enormous. I gave in.
Is what I provide not enough?
I wished to buy back my family's estate. For here, nothing is truly mine. I've a roof over my head, ample food to eat, but What is a nobleman without land of his own? I shall tell you everything, if you agree to show me mercy.
Who'd you sell the wine to?
A few weeks past at the Pheasantry, a rich nobleman approached me. He called himself a diplomat, well connected at court. He suggested we embark on an enterprise. Some of his clients had offered dizzying sums for even a drop of Sonreal. He was to serve as intermediary.
This man's name?
He never revealed it. He was tall, black-haired, and spoke with a foreign lilt. He claimed to hail from Sintra.
I've no Sintrin aristocrat at court.
Really thought nobody'd find out.
I was a fool, very foolish. I beg you, Your Grace, you must forgive me.
Wine itself, how'd you hand it over?
We met under the cover of darkness in the ruins of Fort Astre. A dozen or so men came to collect. Armed men. The kind that stink of trouble. I had hauled the barrel there. They transferred it to their cart, and we went our separate ways.
That's it? That the last you ever saw of them?
That is to say, a few days passed. A messenger arrived. He said they wished to buy another barrel and, well, I've prepared it, have it ready to deliver.
That's enough. Know all we need to know.
Your Grace, I beg your forgiveness.
Get out of my sight. Captain, have your men take Master Fabrizio to the dungeon. He must answer for his crime. High treason the charge. What now, Witcher?
We set a trap. Need to catch the wine thieves. Cintrian Noble could be our blackmailer. Next, transport. I'll take it to Fort Astra. Damien and his soldiers will cover me.
For once, I agree with you. We will do as you say. Let me know when you are ready.
Need a minute.
Make haste. We would not have made it far without your grace.
The important bit is yet to come.